The head coach at Hampton, Trent Boykin, his running back Elijah Burris, and linebacker Xavier Marshall. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Coach, I'll start with you. You've been on the staff at Hampton since 2020 as the running backs coach before being promoted in late April. How's that transition gone for you?
Oh, it's been great. We've been enjoying it. A lot of work, some early mornings, some late nights, but it's been fun and exciting to kind of be in this position and get this thing rolling.
You've certainly been in the coaching business a while, a lot of different places, but you've also been a head coach previously. How much does that experience help you as you ascend to this new role?
It does. I think I'm a lot more wiser and older at this point now, and really I probably take all my faults from the first time and been able to say, okay, don't do this, be better at this, and so I think that's helped me tremendously for where I'm at this point.
First question this morning from Brian Smith. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. Good morning. Coach, and to Xavier and Elijah, what's the transition been like with this being your first year? And from the player's perspective, do you feel like there's been that smooth transition? So there were very few hiccups trying to come together as a team.
Well, I'll start off. I think the transition, for me, what I've enjoyed from it is the fact that I've already been on this staff. A lot of the guys I already knew, had familiarity with. Guys like Elijah, when he got here, that class that got here in 2020, I was here, and so to be a part with that group that came in 2020. I know those guys. I've been around them. And then, with our staff, like Coach McCombs, we both got here at the same time, our DC, and then the majority of our staff have been here for at least a year to 2 years. And so for me to only really have to hire 3 guys, someone to replace myself, it's made it for me a smooth transition, because a lot of these guys, I would probably say, probably 85% of the guys have already been on the team. And so I've already had a relationship with those guys, and the same thing with our coaching staff. So, the transition for me has been smooth because of the fact of, we've already had connections with a lot of these guys.
Xavier, Elijah, you guys want to answer that one?
Oh yeah, I was about to say the transition from coach being the head coach, Coach Boykin being the head coach, has been smooth. He been really like focusing on having the team really getting together, coming together. We've been doing events. We went out to the Norfolk Ties baseball stadium, and we've been really like trying to bring the team together for more team bonding, something we haven't been doing before. And he really been doing good right now.
And just to reiterate off of what Elijah said, just coming together as a team. We got to say and reach your full potential. So just pushing each other, making sure we get better day in, day out. Every rep has been, critical for our team. And I think that you'll see it on the field in the fall.
Next question from Michael Sauls. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah. Hey, Coach. You mentioned a second ago, made a couple of additions to your staff here in the last couple of months. Just how are you feeling about your inaugural staff as a first-time head coach here at Hampton?
Oh, I'm excited. The guys, Joe Daly and Howard Fagans, those 2 guys are something. And then you add Darian Jackson. All of them have been outstanding from previous places they've been, with Joe coaching and being an OC and coaching in the NFL and coaching under some great head coaches. You add him then you add Fagans, who's been a head coach and has coached at major level. And then Darren Jackson, who's also been a head coach at a couple places. And so when you look at this staff, I mean, you've got a staff here that basically has either been a head coach, been a coordinator, or have coached at some higher levels. So to surround myself with guys with the knowledge they have, the background that they have, It's to me, it's made my job a little bit easier because I can bounce some things off of them because they've been head coaches, bounce some things off of them because they've been coordinators. And then just the experience that they've had, and the fact too that I like is they've all coached at all levels, so that it's just not, hey, they've been at the BCS level. They've coached Division II ball, NAIA ball, Division III, Power Fives, mid majors, and so they bring a little bit of all of that to the table. And I think you need that when you're coaching and you've been at different places. Again, it helps in recruiting. It helps in how you look at players and develop players. So to me, and again, I was taught you bring people to know more than you, and you can have success. So that's my biggest thing, is bringing in guys that know more than I do.
Elijah, I know obviously Coach Boykin is still on staff, so you still kind of have your old running backs coach, but you do have a new one in Coach Fagans. Just what has it been like to work with him these last, month and a half, couple months?
Coach Figgins, he a good coach, great coach. He got a lot of knowledge for the game. He every meeting he teach the running backs, stay positive, stay focused, don't ever get too high, get too low, So we attack practice with high energy and make sure we doing everything right.
I'll just keep going. Coach, I know after the spring game, former head coach, Coach Bunny, said that he felt like this was probably one of the best teams he's had at Hampton. Now that you were obviously there for that, but now that you're head coach, do you share a similar positive outlook on the state of this roster coming into the year?
I do. And the thing that Coach talked about too is you've got a lot of guys with playing experience. A lot of those guys that came in that 2020 class during that during that COVID time, a lot of those guys are still here. So you've got a lot of guys who have played a lot of football for us over these last 2.5 years. Then you add in guys like Xavier, who was in the conference already, and so with that being said, I really do feel like this is a great group of young men who have a lot of football experience, and you're starting to see that come together. And and the fact that you start off in one conference, and now you're now in the CAA, and now we're going into our third year and have a better idea of what to expect, and you can see the growth of our guys. So I do feel that this will be the best class that we've had, since I'm getting here. Yes.
Next question from Brian. Go ahead, Brian.
Coach, question about Chris Zealous, your quarterback. I was reading Michael Saltz. Thank you very much for the info. They went to the Manning passing camp, I believe. How has that helped him, and have you seen the change in him in practices?
Oh, it's helped him tremendously. We talked before he left. We talked while he was down there. We talked when he came back. It just gave him a sense of even more confident in himself to be able to be with those elite quarterbacks and kind of put himself against them guys and kind of say, okay, what are they learning? What have they been taught? And so because of that, you can just see in his mind how he's reading defenses, understanding defenses. And I think the biggest thing is just how he is around the players and really getting those guys locked in and focused and being a leader that we always knew he was. But you can see it more now with the tutelage of Coach Daly and him being down there. You can see that. But there's still a fight. We still got some guys here. That room is deep than it's ever been before. And I think that's also helped him, is the fact that we've got some guys with Malcolm, who was a starter here, is back, and then adding 3 more quarterbacks to that room. I definitely see how he's locked in and wanting to be a leader, not just on the offensive side, but on this football team.
Next question from Michael. Go ahead, Mike.
Elijah and Xavier, kind of similar question I asked Coach Boykin. Just how confident are you guys with this team, maybe compared to last year or the year before that coming into camp?
I say I feel like, everybody really came to this season, not the season, but this camp more focused, everybody, been working together, been really trying to stay positive, we had added the 4 letters on our shirts, RYFP, which meaning reach your full potential. So every day we attack the field, we attack the field 100%, no complaining, and we all get to work.
Yeah, just going off that, everybody just literally, like Elijah said, attacks the field, just, owning up to everything, taking accountability for everything, taking accountability for their own success, the team success, and, really caring about each other. And, it's all showing, and it's all going to keep showing. And, we got places to improve on, but, throughout this summer camp, we're going to get better through it.
And then, Coach, you got a new offensive coordinator there, and a new offensive coordinator in Bobby Blizzard. I think his first new OC in a couple of years at Hampton. Just what can we expect from the offense this year?
I would say pretty much the same that you've seen. I mean, we're going to run the football. Our O-line. Again, I keep giving credit to our O-line. We've gotten better and better and better every year that I've been here, and you've got a lot of great players at that position coming back. With Tyler McDuffie, and you got Omar and Jo and Zach Perkins, and we've added a lot more guys to that. So that group is bigger, stronger, and faster than what they were even a year ago. You look at our running back situation. A lot of those guys, I know everybody talks about Elijah, which is definitely the case, but you still have 3 more running backs that have been around this program, and then we added a few guys. And so offensively, we're gonna kind of be similar than what we've been in the past. I mean, our wide receiver core is a good core. There's probably a lot of not guys that are name guys that people know about right now, but they will. And so, you're going to see a team that's similar. We'll have a little more grit and a little bit more bite than in the past. But we're gonna hand the ball off, and we're gonna find out, if we can run the ball like we have been.
Xavier, defensively, there's some guys back, but the top 3 tacklers from last season are no longer there. How do you feel like you can help fill that role this season?
We, brought in some young guys. We brought in some guys from the transfer portal. We feel like we can fill those positions, really nicely. We made some changes on defense that's, going to put us in a better position to succeed on the field, and schematically just, focusing on, being better statistically. Being top 25 in the nation is the goal this year.
As Coach touched on, you've played a lot of games in the CAA, not only at Hampton, but your time at Richmond. Do you feel like Hampton's on the path to being able to get into the upper echelon of the CAA?
Most definitely. And one thing that I've realized throughout my years of being in the CAA is that anybody can win on any given Saturday. And so just taking that approach to, preparing and, getting ready for the season, we're going to capitalize on every opportunity we have this year. We dropped the ball a few games last year, but this year we're definitely going to capitalize on every opportunity we have on every Saturday.
Before I let you guys go, Coach, I'll finish with you. Just give us a couple of keys as you go into the season to have the success that you'd like to have.
Well, I think the things that we've been stressing, all summer is, one, we got to reach our full potential, and everything that we do, attack it with that attitude. Will you fight and will you quit? That's something that we've stressed the whole camp, is just, will you fight and will you quit? And if we do those things, if we reach in our full potential, on and off the field, if we fight, will we fight or will we quit? If we have that mentality, I think we'll be okay. Things will take care of itself. But if you go in with that mindset, we'll have a chance on Saturdays.
All right, Coach Boykin.